when you hear Trent Richardson is one of the biggest busts in NFL draft history, what do you think about that?
I laugh at it. Like how? Like it wasn't like I was playing bad. Like I just didn't have the tools. Like I wasn't playing bad. You look at when I got benched, right? I still led the lead and broke tackles after the contact for like 6 weeks after. And so like, bro, y'all don't realize like I'm not getting nothing at the line of scrimmage, man. We get in the game, we go down 14-0. Now we in hurry up offense. And that's almost every game. Like we didn't have a really opportunity to run the ball when you look at it. But it's just like, bro, like when people talk like that, man, it's like y'all don't understand like how the draft work or how the process work. You gave me something one time and I'm like, man, this is my dog. Like how you saying this? You said something, you had a high school player playing better than me. You were better than me. I'm like, what? Come on, bro.
RC, did you really?
But it was one of them things that was like, bro, you know what? I'm gonna make sure.
So I do want to speak to that. It was my plan to end the show with it. It just came faster than I thought it did, because you actually noticed it or remember it. I was just going to apologize. I think first off, I want to say I'm sorry for saying that, because I've grown and matured enough to know now that not only do I not know everything that's going on football-wise, I don't know everything that's going on in the real lives of players. I don't know how that affects them mentally and emotionally, which in some point will affect them physically. As a young analyst, you know, you look at stats, you look at yards per carry, and you say, okay, how can I say this without saying he's averaging this yards per carry to where it's entertaining and the point comes across that statistically this is low. And I was more focused on the value of the entertainment than the value of the person.
I'm glad you commented this, because I want to say all busts are not created equally. Not everybody is Jamarcus Russell. Not everybody is Josh Rosen. Trent Richardson, for example, had a mixture of two things: poor management and then a not so good personal life. Now, he had all of his family spending a lot of his money, and Nick Saban told him, I'm worried about you being too caring and too charitable before he even went to the league. Red flag. Now, his rookie year, he had a great rookie year. I think he broke Jim Brown's record or something like that. Phenomenal. So instead of building on that, he was on one of the top offensive lines in the NFL at the time in the Cleveland Browns. Instead of building on that, they trade him to the Colts, another team who was poorly ran, prematurely ended Andrew Luck's career because you couldn't protect him, and you had one of the worst offensive lines. He's a running back. If you're taking that high, like backs we've seen, Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, you're expected to produce right out the gate. But that mixture of personal life and all of those things definitely played a factor and definitely shot his confidence. I think this man's confidence was shot because you just don't forget how to play football, bro. He was not a scrub. He was one of the top backs in the SEC, a dog at Alabama. And I think that confidence is a huge thing. We've seen it. We've seen it with these guys who've gotten second chances in the league and they come out and they produce. But I don't ever think he got his confidence back. He was looking hesitant on runs. He missing gaps, all of that stuff. So I don't think his vision he just lost his vision and became Ray Charles. And I don't even want to come off like I'm defending him. I just want to say that we don't put enough pressure or give the GMs or the teams or coaches enough flack for the roles they play in some of these players not panning out. Not saying that they deserve the lion's share, because at the end of the day, you got to play. And he's sitting there on a podcast with Fred Taylor, who literally got his money stolen from him and lost in a Ponzi scheme. And we in such an information era, now the athletes are more empowered and they have more avenues to voice what's going on right away, instead of us having to wait 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years away, and then now we hearing it, where it's like, dang, I wish I would have heard that a little bit sooner. I could have had a little bit more sympathy for the guy.
Statistically, this is low. And I was more focused on the value of the entertainment than the value of the person. I've learned now, as I've grown, to never focus on the value of the entertainment over the value of the human, which is why I can walk in locker rooms and be received the way I am. When I reached out to you initially, it was to have the chance to look you in the face and say, I'm sorry for that. To say that you were a learning experience for me, because after I say that, I learned all of these other things about your life. You taught me that before I worry about what the film says or what other people are telling me is the reason a person isn't playing well, try to learn why the person isn't playing well. And in saying that they aren't, talk about what the film says, not what adds the most entertainment value. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad that didn't affect you in a way to where it's hindered your life going forward. But I also know that's not the case for everyone. I also know that you're stronger than what some people are to be able to have the sort of life you've had the sort of career you've had, and not internalize that as the truth about yourself. But I was wrong. And I am sorry. It doesn't take it away that I did it, but I do think and did think I owed you a face-to-face apology for doing something that downright in my position as a former player will always be wrong. And, you know, I appreciate you being so gracious to me to answer the DM, to give me your number, to allow us to be here and have this conversation with you, which I think is wholly important, not only for our platform, but for other people who see you and know who you are. But for me personally, to have an opportunity to say that, it was very important to me. And so I thank you for your grace. I thank you for the forgiveness. I thank you for being an adult in that manner.